Welcome back, and we earlier talked about how to receive the new academic year with a new spirit, and of course this would need some positivity and planning for the future. We're very delighted to be having with us Dr. Nabil Gad, the educational expert, over the phone. Good morning, Dr. Nabil.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you doing?
Just fine.
First of all,
You?
how do we prepare our kids and youth to prepare for the academic year, to receive it and to plan for it?
Well, first of all, let me congratulate and have my sincerest wishes for all the learners in different stages in Egypt for the beginning of the new scholastic or academic year. Our plan should be clear to everybody, especially the learners themselves. I'm not going to call them pupils or students, but I call them learners in all states. They have to have a very good insight for the future, to have a plan like what we always do in all our activities. And the positivity, or as you mentioned this term earlier, is a must. Students or learners, I mean, should be always encouraged not to be receiving knowledge from their teachers or professors, but they have to be seeking the knowledge wherever it can be available, like from Google or from their own researches. And we have to create the critical thinking in their trends nowadays. I was so happy when I heard Dr. Hassan before me talking about trends that would be overwhelming nowadays. The preparation of young kids, and they are lucky if the parents give them due care and let them be accustomed to be early to bed, early to rise, make them healthy, wealthy, and wise. So this is a must after the long summer vacation where they relax, late sleeping and late waking up. So they have to adopt now and adapt to the new system of life. Of course, their hard work is a must. And this hard work comes from a plan. Let the parents, the wise and knowledgeable parents, teach them different items. First of all, to have mutual respect with others. I mean their colleagues or whoever they deal with. To hard work in a very well-planned system for themselves. And above all this, to have faith in God that will keep them right with Him and let them do what He likes. If they have this confidence in God, I think it will be very fruitful as well. The family support is essential. We can't do without it. That's what I think as a source of tips.
Right. Also, there are the types, special situation when you have toddlers who are going for the first time to school, the kids who are going to KG for the first time, and I mean kids who are going to be separated from their parents for the first time. They need a special plan. They need a special treatment and special motivation to be able to prepare them for a new life and a new system of life, separate them from the life at home, and then orient them to be able to go to the practical life for the first time in their lives.
I absolutely do agree with what you have just mentioned, but these learners, young learners, who are in KGs or even in baby classes, of course, the school is so different from what they have had before. It's the role of the parents to tell their children that they are now no more dependent on them. They have grown up and they have to be independent in their thinking. However, They should abide by what is given to them. And the parents' orientation is, as I have mentioned earlier, is a must. The orientation is so good. Even if they have committed very slight mistakes, they should be forgiven, but they have to learn the lesson for the future. And tell them, you are now grown-ups. You are becoming very good citizens in the future. The words of encouragement, I think, have the magic effect that will have the fruitful results in the future of these young kids who are seeking learning throughout all their lives.
Right. So is it a must to schedule everything for the kids and for people who are starting their new academic year? Is it a must to schedule even holidays? How important is scheduling and rescheduling all over again in the lives of any students, even at their leisure time?
Yes, this is a good point that you have mentioned. And this scheduling should not be only from their parents. It should be also from the kids themselves. Let us listen to what they would like to have, their likes and dislikes. And this will give them a feeling of self-importance, that they are participating with their parents in the planning for holidays, as you have mentioned, or planning for the study that they have, the home assignment they have. I liked a very good new educational term called the home fun. And by the way, some schools nowadays, I heard as I watched in abroad when I was abroad, or even here in Egypt, they have after the school hours what they call the study hour, the study halls, where they stay an extra hour or a couple of hours, where there are some supervisors helping them to do their home fun, or used to be home assignment or homework, and they come home, they come back home later on enjoying their time, no pushing, no forcing them to be doing the whole fun. So they enjoy their life, they watch what they would like to do, they have some time for the internet to be limited, as I emphasize all the time. And my piece of advice or tips for these youngsters is that they should be learning to prepare their school bags before they go to bed. And they have to have sandwiches, because it's not only the cultural or educational input that they get, it's only the flourishment. If they have a sort of hunger, they won't understand. So the nourishment, the well-nourished and well-fed children will be very active and productive, whether in school or outside the school. Plus the element of sports. This is also a very necessary element in the pedagogical process, which makes them bodily and or physically well and able and ready to accept the other fields of knowledge.
Right. The academic year is not only for a specific element, but a combination of elements like
Sure.
the sports, nutrition, leisure time, other activities and all that. How important are the other elements in the system of academic year, like sports, like a nutritional system, like an activity system and leisure time system? How important is that?
It's extremely important, and I think I have mentioned them. The sports, the nourishment, the social activities. If some of these youngsters, or even the grown-ups and those who are in universities, have certain hobbies, they should be encouraged to practice them. Who knows, maybe one of them will be a superstar in this field. And the early encouragement will give them a very good push forward to be practicing these activities and rewarded And these rewards will actually make them in high morale. And this psychological element will also be of a credit for them in their
Right.
life.
Right. Dr. Nabil Gad, the educational expert, would like to thank you, sir, so much talking to the
Most
Breakfast
welcome.
Show. You have a good day.
Thank you,
And,
you too. You too.
and by this, we come to the end of this edition of the Breakfast Show for today. Many thanks to all of you. Till we see you again tomorrow morning, that's goodbye.